Hello and welcome back to The Towel Boy, where we try to give you the cleanest takes in sports. Today, I'm going to be talking about NBA and giving my All-Star predictions. Or I guess not necessarily predictions, but who I believe should be in the All-Star game. All-Star game is coming up in just a couple of weeks. All-Star teams are going to be announced soon, so I thought it'd be a perfect time for me to give my explanation of who I believe deserves the All-Star nod. Um, it's tough to decide because there's the new format, obviously with the world versus America. So just gonna say I'm just choosing the 12 best players from each conference, in my opinion. I'm not gonna worry about the world versus the USA. That's Adam Silver's job, whatever it is. So I'm just picking who I believe earns a spot. And this is tough because let's be honest, there's one conference that dominates the NBA when it comes to star talent and just the better overall teams. The West is clearly way better than the Eastern Conference. There's about 15 to 20 guys in the West that I really had to sit down. Like, cutting guys from the West was a lot harder than in the East. It was almost like I had to come up with reasons why I think a guy should be in the All Star game. So, I'm going to start off talking about my Western Conference All Stars, talking about the conference that I believe is the best conference in the National Basketball Association. I'm going to give my 12 guys who I believe should be all stars, give a little bit of a reasoning why, and then I would love to hear from you guys who you guys think I snubbed, who you guys believe should be in, all that good stuff. So, without further ado, I just want to let you guys know that this is not in order per se either. Like who I have as who I say number 9 doesn't mean they're the ninth best or whatever. It's just these are the 12 guys that I'm going to talk about. So, number 1 though, we're going to try to get the obvious ones out of the way, of course. We have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander leading the number 1 overall seed Thunder. Second in the league in scoring, about almost 32 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4.4 assists on a ridiculous 66.8 true shooting. For a guard, that is pretty out. That's for anybody that's outlandish, but uh, insane efficiency. He's only playing about 33 minutes a night. You're seeing him outscore his minutes quite a lot, right? Not playing a ton of fourth quarters. He's the best scorer in basketball. You can make the case that he's the best player in all of basketball. Uh, Reigning MVP. Not much to say. He's going to be, when you're thinking about the best players in the world, he's going to be one of the first names that you list off. So Shea, obviously, getting the nod here to the All Star game. Number 2, Nikola Jokic. If Shea isn't your best player in the world, is going to be Jokic, right? Averaging 29.6 points per game. And then he leads the NBA in assists and rebounds per game with 12.4 rebounds a game, 11.1 assists per game. He has a ridiculous 71.4 true shooting, so 60% from the field, 44 from 3, 85 from the line. He's tied top 5 for scoring, right, while leading the league and playmaking and rebounding. In my opinion, he's the best basketball player in the world. You can make a case for Shea, and I'm not going to really argue, but I think Jokic is the best player in the world. What he's doing this year, absolutely ridiculous. Uh, and I just want to say that I know the All NBA takes account for games played and whatnot. All Star doesn't really, so I'm not really considering players who have missed time, right? Because Jokic hasn't played since December 29th. Uh, Missed some time. That's not coming into consideration, especially for this All Star nod. When we come down to later in the year, All NBA, maybe it does, but All Star, I don't really think it matters. At the end, when it came down to some like the last couple of cuts, I took it into consideration. This guy's only played 20 games, even though he's been awesome. I'm going to take the other guy who's played 35, 40. But I just wanted to say that the games played doesn't necessarily matter near as much right now for me. So we got Shea, we got Jokic. Then third, I have Anthony Edwards making the All Star game, right? Top 5 in scoring as well, 29.6 points per game, about 5 rebounds, 4 assists on 50% from the field, 42 from the 3, 79% from the line. He's top 5 in scoring in the league. And the development of Anthony Edwards is just unbelievable to me. Coming out of college, I would have never, ever, ever thought him to be this good. To where I think right now, if you ask me who the fourth best player in the world is, I think I'm going to say Anthony Edwards. I'm going to go Shea, Jokic, Giannis, and then I think I might go with Ant Man at number four. It's just ridiculous how he gets better every single year, adding to his game, becoming a better playmaker, becoming a better 3 point shooter. This year, the shooting off the dribble is ridiculous. Um, and it's just been exciting. Is one of the few like it shows that progression you can't really guess, right? No one would have guessed that he's this good. He's leading the Wolves to another playoff spot. The Wolves are better, I think, than some people thought. I thought they were going to be decent just because him and Randall are a good duo, whatever. Anthony Edwards is one of the best players in the world. It's been exciting to see. And I think when you're thinking about superstars, there's only a few that are true two-way players. And I think Anthony Edwards is a two-way superstar. He's one of, maybe not for the whole game, but when it comes down to it and you need someone to lock up the other team's best player on the perimeter, Anthony Edwards is never afraid to take on that challenge. So Anthony Edwards making the All-Star game. Next guy on the All-Star game for me, Victor Wembanyama. Uh, we know him as the alien, right? He's going to, if he doesn't get hurt, probably going to go down as one of the best players to ever play the game. This year, averaging 24.5 points, almost 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3.4 stocks per game. He's got a really good true shooting percentage, right? 52 from the field, improved 38% from three, 84% from the line. Due to minutes and like games missed, he's not going to show up on the ESPN's leaderboard for blocks per game, but he leads the league in blocks per game, doing it all under 30 minutes per game. What you're watching with him is ridiculous. You really haven't seen anything like it. When he's on, he's one of the most fun watches in the NBA, right? One of the best players in the NBA, probably the best defensive weapon the NBA has seen in a long time. So combine that with his very much improved offensive game this year. He's led the Spurs to the number 2 seed in the West, which I would have never guessed that. I don't think a lot of people would have. So Wemby making the All-Star game in the Western Conference. Then of course we have Luka Doncic from the Lakers making the All-Star game. 30 leads the league in scoring with 33.3 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 8.6 assists, 46.4% from the field. Then his 3 point percentage isn't fantastic, only about 34% from three. Struggled a little bit from the line lately, shooting about 78% from the line. A lot of turnovers, 4.5 turnovers. That comes with such a high usage, of course. But leads the league in scoring. He does things that not a lot of people can do on the offensive end. It is crazy. He definitely has lost some athletic burst. He is definitely a liability on defense. But when you're that special on offense, it doesn't really matter, right? He does all these things. One of the best offensive minded players in the game. Truly a savant with the basketball in his hands. And leading the Lakers to maybe a fluky playoff spot. But right now, they're going to be in the playoffs. Luka is one of the main reasons why. Steph Curry is my next guy talking about making the All-Star game. The Warriors are a terrible watch. I don't like watching the Warriors. I don't like them as a team. I don't think they're very good. But you can't deny that Steph Curry is still magical with the ball in his hands. Averaging almost 28 points per game. Shooting a ridiculous 63.7 true shooting percentage. 47% from the field. Almost 39% from three. And he's averaging almost 12 3 point attempts per game. So the efficiency on the types of shots that he's taking is ridiculous. He is carrying this Warriors team to where they are right now. Like without Steph, they're nothing. They're 8 seed, above 500 in the play-in like spot right now, but without Steph, they would be I think one of the top 5 worst teams or bottom 5 team, I guess in the NBA. Steph is carrying Golden State right now. Absolutely deserves a nod. Still one of the best players in the NBA. And then I'm hopeful for the next guy to make the All-Star game. It's going to be Jamal Murray. I think this is the year he finally gets his All-Star nod. He's been so good this year, averaging almost 26 points per game on good shooting percentage. At times, he's just taken over and he's more efficient this year, making tough shot after tough shot. And I think it really solidified because to me he would have made it before the Jokic injury, but he has helped keep the Nuggets afloat, playing a part. Right? He's not the main reason. He's missed some time, but the Nuggets are about 7-4 since Jokic went out. No one would have thought that possible, and Murray's the main catalyst, driving that force behind it. He's been one of the biggest snubs of all recent years. Right? If you would have ended his career now, you kind of would have said he's one of the best players to ever make an All-Star game. I think this is the year that Murray finally does it. He's been fantastic. He's been spectacular. If the season ended right now and I had my vote, he might even make an All NBA team. That's how good I think that Jamal Murray's been. He's been so fun to watch. Just really that evolution to not superstar, but he's definitely become a true star in the NBA this season. So Jamal Murray making it this year for me. And then the next guy, one of the kind of like a Steph Curry, uh, just expect him to always be there. Kevin Durant, once again, has been fantastic. This new Rockets team, they haven't won as many games as I would have thought. As I'm recording this, they're the fifth seed, 25-15. I would have thought they probably would have been that second, third seed. I had them predicted, I think, to be the second seed, to finish second seed in the Western Conference. Obviously, plenty of time for that to change. But Durant's been fantastic. 26 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, nearly 50-40-90 shooting splits. Uh, just last night, he passed Dirk all time on the six. Uh, just passed Dirk for sixth all time on the scoring list. And I was talking to somebody the other day. We truly got to appreciate just how fantastic this era of basketball has been. Old heads will complain, whatever, but Kevin Durant is going to be one of the top scorers of all time. LeBron, maybe the greatest player of all time. You see these stats of Russell Westbrook passing Oscar Robertson for the most points as a point guard all time. Steph Curry doing what he's doing still, right? These legends of the game still doing it for so long. Eventually, they're going to go away. What's going to happen? Are we going to see their records broken? Are we going to see Westbrook's point guard numbers broken? Are we going to see like people like James Harden are considered maybe the sixth best player of their generation? I don't know right now. Are you going to see people have such a special career of the new era players as James Harden? So I think it's really interesting and it's super fun to see these people that were dominating the game when I was like 8 years old still doing it now. So Kevin Durant, one of those players. Give a shout out to the old heads, of the NBA right now. Former teammate of Kevin Durant. Next player I want to talk about, Devin Booker is going to get that spot. So he's averaging about 25 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Not shooting it great from three, only 30% from three. But out of all the players, he's been the least efficient. Not so much a superstar season, but a really, really solid season from Devin Booker. And I've given him the nod over some other guys, particularly because of nobody expected Phoenix to be this good, right? They're fighting for a playoff spot. They might make it. They've been way better than expectation. Devin Booker is the main reason why. He's their franchise guy. He is the Phoenix Suns. He's had a really good season, and he has carried them to what you would say is an above and beyond expectations of a season. So Devin Booker get the All-Star nod. And then the next guy, someone that I would not have predicted, someone I'm still not super high on long term, but I can't deny that he's had a fantastic season. The Portland Trailblazers forward, Deni Avdija, uh, he's earned the right. I don't think that he's been. I don't know if I would say he's a true star in this league. Like, if you're facing him in the playoffs, are you truly going to be afraid of him? I don't think so. But his numbers and his productivity this season, I can't deny it. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Averaging about 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists on pretty good efficiency. 47 from the line, from the field, excuse me, 35.5% from three. And then he gets to the line. That's what his biggest weapon is. He's second in the league behind Luka in free throw attempts per game. So he's a downhill monster. He gets to the rim. Teams have to foul him. And he's been really good. Do I think he's a superstar in this league? No, I do not. Do I think he's a really good piece for Portland to build around? Um, Future All Star in this league for a couple years? I do think so. So I have to give credit, give him his flowers. Deni Avdija has taken an All Star spot this season for me, and I think he'll make it overall as well. And then the last two spots, we've got 10 spots so far. Kawhi Leonard, although he hasn't played in a ton of games, only about 30 games played so far, he's been unreal since he's played. When he's played, when he's been on offensively, it's like that true robotic Kawhi just is going in no matter what. 28 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists. On if you round up the decimals, he's on 50, 40, 94 uh shooting splits, so he would have a 50, 40, 90 season. Defensively, he's been really good again. He's been about 2.2 steals per game, would be the second highest in his career, behind his 2014-15 Defensive Player of the Year season. He's been really good both sides of the ball. Clippers have not been very good as a team, but you can't fault Kawhi when he's been out there. Been Mr. Robotic, the Terminator, Kawhi of old, right? And he fits into that category I talked about earlier of the Durant's, Curry's, LeBron's, these older guys who just keep producing when they're playing. So Kawhi making it. And then this last spot was really, really hard for me because there's so many guys in the Western Conference that I feel like deserve to make the All-Star game. I cut guys like Alperen Şengün, cut guys like Austin Reeves, who I think has been fantastic this year. LeBron James has not made my All-Star ballot just because he hasn't played enough. And even if he has he been better than these other 12 guys? I don't know, which is crazy to say. Like LeBron probably going to make it because his name is LeBron. Keontae George, Lowry Markkinen, other guys that aren't making it that you can make a case for. Number 12, his points, his PRA, right? His numbers on the stat sheet aren't going to blow you out of the water, but his impact for his team, I think, is matched by very few. I have number 12, last spot for the Western Conference, Chet Holmgren making the All Star game for me. About 18 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, on decent efficiency, but one of the best defensive monsters in the game. Nobody impacts the defensive game other than maybe Wembanyama more than Chet Holmgren does. Huge rim deterrent, 2 blocks per game, but not even the blocks per game, just the presence he has out there. His team is better when he's on the court. So the number one seed, best team in the NBA, Thunder, it felt crazy to not have them have two All Stars. The one seed almost always has two All Stars. Chet deserves to be there. Like I said, his points, rebounds, assists isn't as crazy as other guys, but his impact on the court is undeniable for his team. Crazy, no LeBron. I think Lowry Markin and Keontae George, Alperen Şengün, some other guys that I cut out could make this list, and that's why it's so tough. I think in the Western Conference because, uh, people in the Eastern Conference that are going to make it just simply aren't as good as those guys, in my opinion. But that's how the All Star game is set up. I think it's more fun and it's easier to do 12 in each conference. So those are my 12 for the Western Conference All Star game picks. Let me know. Please comment. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Who did I snub? Who do you believe should make it in over some of the guys that I picked? Who's earned the right? Who should not have made it from my list, right? I would love to hear from you guys. Please comment below. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking it out. Until next time, have a great one.